Hey, it's Mike, and welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. I do this channel not to make a business out of it. I don't get sponsorships. I know people who watch this are down, but I do it in hope that somebody will stumble across this and maybe learn a couple of things. Now, let's just take a look. This is my screen so far. Up here, we have full calibration. That's the green circle. The number one means I have less than 1 day. And if I press it, it tells you how much time. I have 6 hours left. Pretty well full calibration. Things are going crazy. I just got 0.25 of a unit where it's trying to keep me in the green area here. That's all the pump does. But I'd be off and up and all over the place with blood sugars. Now, if I move it across, it gets my last 24 hours of how well I am doing with diabetes control. Now, remember, people can always have a bad day. And today is one of my days. If we take a look at it, I'm 52% time in range. 43% is above. This needs some work. We know that because we took a look at my graph here, and that showed that I spent a lot of time outside of this green area. So the 5% below is another area that we really want to work on. And the average time in range, 9.3 is a little bit higher. It's not terrible, but it's something I personally would like to work on. And that's where we are so far today. Today, in this video, I want to talk to you about if you have to go into the hospital. Now, this could be an emergency. It could be pre-planned, but if it's an emergency, sorry, that's my sound. If you're able to move that away for a bit, there you go. Or you, you could say, "Hey, I've got an appendicitis," or you could have to go in for a non-diabetes relation, or you could be in for a diabetic emergency. If you are going in for a diabetic emergency, chances are you're not going to be able to have, sorry, my finger, control of giving yourself insulin, taking control of your diabetes. If you go in with, excuse me, with a blood sugar that's like 25, 30 for days, and you go in, you're going to be put on IV insulin, you're going to be in emergency for at least 3 days, 3 to 4 days. For me, it usually lasts for about a week to a week and a half. If you end up going in for a low blood sugar, they're really going to watch your blood sugars. You're going to be doing blood sugars 4 times at least. If you feel that you're going low, chances are you're going to have another blood test. They're going to do a whole bunch of tests on you. When I went in for my leg, I was delirious, so there was no way that I would be able to control my blood sugar, even if I was given the chance. I had got a leg infection and I ended up getting very delirious very quickly, and it took a while before my body got back, and I was off my pump for a while. They put me back on the pump, and I ended up going into ketoacidosis a few times. So during that time, I was in no um, way able to control my blood sugar. When in, I was in the hospital already for some other related something, and I developed an appendicitis. I was lucky. I got surgery. I got it quick. Came out. They give me pain pills, and from that point on till I was discharged, I was able to control my blood sugar. I was able to tell them the numbers and then correct. If you're mentally capable to do that, chances are your endo will give you control if you are there for something not diabetes related. Now, something I have said many times on these videos is it's better for you to be outside to control your blood sugar than inside at a hospital. I myself had such a problem time in my 20s, early 30s to control my blood sugar that I was, how should we say that, kept in a long time. There was 2014, I believe it was, where I was in the hospital for, I think it was September 15th, so 9 months I was in the hospital, close to a year. I was able to get a little bit more liberties because I was with the hospital. I could go out as long as I was back by the end of visiting hours. I was fine. But I would go out, I would sometimes go and get dinner from other restaurants, come, count the carbs, and deal with them. Pretty simplistic. But you always want to make sure that you are one that is not going to play around with your insulin. I know in many different circumstances, doctors have always said, I don't think we're going to control it, just to prove. And then they show that my blood sugars are my body's. That sounds kind of stupid, but my blood sugar was truthful. It wasn't that I was making up blood sugars. Since talking, my blood sugar is stabilized at a 9. So if you're 14 or below, chances are you'll be able to control. If not, they're going to do everything. They're going to count your carbs, give your insulin. If you show signs of going into DKA, they're going to jump on it. If you're there for something else, if you're there for a mental illness, or you're there for a surgery, or if you're there for some other medical condition other than diabetes, if you say to your doctor, I have a game plan, we know how to do things, then do it. If you're in the hospital, you're going to get bland food. I know one of the worst foods I ever had was, um, what were they called? Fish balls. And eventually the ward clerk just typed in and said, patient is allergic to fish. So I didn't get any more fish. Here, I don't like fish. And, but on the other hand, I was in a hospital. It was actually Burnaby Hospital, where I went in there and they served fish. And it was in a cream sauce, and it was actually very good. So it was fish balls, just, you can ask if it's something that comes in that you don't eat or you really dislike. Being diabetics, we have to eat, and they will usually be able to get you something else to eat. But if you're pleasant or you're nice to the people who serve you, and you should be, because they're just there trying to make you feel better. And if you don't have control of your blood sugars, you're gonna know that you want people who are gonna be on your side, and you don't want to be yelling or screaming at them. Just give them a thumbs up. And if they feel that you can deal with your own blood sugars, say to them, hey, or speak to your doctor, say, hey, I'd like to control my own blood sugars. Coming into long-term care can be difficult. I've come into long-term care basically because I had problems doing things for myself. But when I came in, I said, between my endocrinologist, my diabetic nurse, and myself, we'll control the diabetes. And I had to sign a risk form, but I don't go crazy with it. I may have lows. Like right now, I'm having a stomach ailment that doesn't really allow me to eat. But I tell them if I'm low 4 times a day, I give them my blood sugars. They come and ask for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and bed. And it's working right now. But relax. If you're having trouble trying to control your blood sugar, be open. But if you're there for something non-diabetes related and you feel comfortable, you can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to watch my own blood sugar. Be helpful. Work with your team. You're going to speak to a whole bunch of people. You're going to speak to your endocrinologist, your diabetic dietitian. You're going to probably speak to a diabetic nurse. So many other people, all trying to get you the best care possible. So take it, work with them. You'll be better. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email address is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. All one line. Drop me